Hi, I'm Jordan Long, and today I'm going to talk about something that I think should be talked about. Okay, first off, anyone who watched my film yesterday and saw it ended at 3 minutes might believe, I picked to do that. No. When would I ever pick to end a film while I was still talking about something? That was the pick of the Google web shooter that only seems to work good every once in a while. And it only seems to work good when other ones are not working good. Like when Camcorder has some hang up with freezing the film, then that's when the Google one will work good. And the Google one only seems to work good for maybe a week. You know, a week, yeah. And then it goes back to its old hang up of cutting out on films. And it doesn't care if the film is long or the film is short, it will cut out on you. And there's no way that you will know this. It will not say nothing. It will just keep on filming like it's always filmed. And the only way you'll know when it fucked up is when you filleted it on YouTube, then went on the watch page, or when you watched it, when you go on the watch page, or this is another way of knowing when you end up playing it back on the watch page and you see the time isn't matching, or when someone starts telling you, hey, your film ended at 3 minutes or something. Now, I know all about its hang up and all the shit that it does. Now, it's almost like it's set up to be something like that. But that's not even the truth. So, when I was making a film yesterday talking about how AEW isn't going to do all these things that everyone believed it was going to do. You listen to the followers and they'd tell you AEW was going to get everyone. That everyone was going to go to AEW. Yeah. They would say AJ Styles and Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler and Asuka and everyone else under the sun was going to go to AEW. And it shifts out that all AEW could get from WWE was Dean Ambrose and Ty Dillinger. That was it. That was it for everyone they got. And Chris Jericho. That was it. And Jim Ross. And apparently Arn Anderson. And that was it. And Dean Malenko and Billy Gunn. That was it. Truly it. And apparently Diamond Dallas Page. But beyond that, and Tony Blanchard. But Tony Blanchard hasn't worked in WWE since his 2007 to 2009 run. Anyway, but that's it for any big names they got. They didn't get all the names they wanted. According to AEW followers, they're going to clean out WWE. They're going to get everyone. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. They want to get everyone. But that's pretty much all the big name knowns they got. Oh, they also got Tony Schiavone, but he hasn't been in WWE or in wrestling in a long time. But beyond that, they really didn't get everyone they wanted. And for them saying they had all the gal and they saying they as much gal as Vince McMahon and Hunter Townsley has, that they could get everyone. Well, they didn't get everyone, which is the truth. They didn't get everyone. They didn't get everybody they said. For all those films that were going around for a year and still going around saying, so-and-so's going, so-and-so's going, yeah, and so-and-so didn't go. All that shit about, and they started making up shit saying they were going to get CM Punk. Well, they didn't get CM Punk either, but someone kept coming up with the Sagan tale that, they're going to get him. Nope, He didn't get CM Punk either. They didn't get The Rock or John Cena or anyone else that they would claim they're going to get, but they didn't get. You know, they also said they're going to get Bill Goldberg, and that didn't happen. Another thing about AEW is that their wrestlers do not sell. They don't sell holds. They just do stunts. All they do is that someone does a tombstone pile driver. The next wrestler is just going to get up and overkick them in the face over and over. It's going to be a stunt, 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 stunt. It isn't going to be no saga and tale through the wrestling fight that wrestlers and true wrestling do. And they're going to say, but there's all kinds of wrestling. Yeah, but most folks see this wrestling as laughingstock wrestling. Wrestling where they don't sell the holds. You know, they just do stunt, stunt, stunt. They just do hold, and that's it. They don't even sell anything. Well, that's just how wrestling is these days. That isn't how wrestling is these days. I don't buy that shit. That was just AEW doing the crap that they think many other wrestling businesses do. And WWE's got the true wrestling, with the sagas and tales and the selling of the holds and stuff like that. Things that the AEW wrestlers either cannot do or are told not to do. Yeah. And then another thing is apparently going around and claiming they're the shit. When, they think and the truth is their shows aren't as good as they would make you believe. They would tell you that all their shows that they have done since last year are good, but the truth is they're not as good as they make them out to be. All their shows they do so far are not as good as WWE shows, and that's the truth. And everybody keeps thinking, they got their Wednesday deal. Yeah, AEW and TNT, but that's still not going to do any good for them. At the end of the day, that isn't going to harm anything. And AEW followers always like to bitch about how they hate WWE. Oh, fuck WWE. I hate them. Yeah, especially when most of your name knowns were former WWE wrestlers, right? And about how your first WWE heavyweight winner just happens to be a former WWE wrestler. And for some ones who hate WWE so much, you don't mind having a former WWE wrestler as your first heavyweight winner, now do you? Well, you see, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. It's a double way of looking. It's a two-way of looking at it. They're shit until they get to AEW, right? But Cody Rhodes don't know shit. He doesn't know how to run a wrestling business. It's the truth. I don't know why Rawley Kong and Tony Khan put Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and had them run it for them. They don't know two shits about them. They don't know how to run a wrestling business. Yeah, which is true. They don't. They know how to wrestle, but they do not know how to run a wrestling business. And here's the thing. I know folks are going to claim, he was in a wrestling kin. Yeah, you can be in a wrestling kin. Doesn't mean understand the wrestling business. Very few wrestlers, very few of them even know the business they're in beyond the wrestling in the ring. Okay. That doesn't mean, So he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And we all know the Young Bucks don't either. And we know Kenny Omega doesn't know either what he's doing. And don't get me started with Raleigh Kong and Anthony Kong, or Tony Kong. Apparently, well, his full name's Anthony. They never been in the wrestling business, so they don't know all the ins and outs and all the things you got to do. So they got to, yeah. And why they went with Cody Rhodes and Young Bucks and Kenny Omega? Because let's see, Don Coven, Scott D'Amore were already doing that in IW under Ed Arkram. And apparently Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman were already doing that in WWE under Vince McMahon. So it was a bomb in the barrel. So they couldn't get anyone with any wrestling wisdom. Well, and Brother Love was already in WWE too, so Bruce Pritchard was out. And James E. Cornette apparently doesn't really get involved in wrestling business these days, and they didn't really want him after he had said what he thought about them. So they were left with wrestlers that didn't know anything about wrestling business, and that was it. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, AEW is not going to be as big as WWE. They're not going to take them down. They're just it's just IW all over again, only smaller. Because at least IW in its early days was pretty big. Or at least it came off that it was pretty big. It was small, but at least you get my point. You know, I'm going to say some shit about WWE now. Go ahead. Say all the shit you want. I don't care. I have my thought, my belief, my take. And if you're going to say shit about WWE, go right ahead. Okay, that's it. Oh, and before I end, you want to know why all their shows get sold out? Because these folks have no lives. And they go to show. You know, they're probably just going to shift all their farseers on and give a lot of watch time to TNT, and then that's not going to help. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.